Take one.
Happy Whiskey Wednesday, everyone. I'm Robin.
And I'm Jerry.
And this is
Savor at home.
number
80 something.
One.
Maybe 90.
81. It's
81.
not 90 yet.
81.
And for this video, I thought we would, I don't want to say kill two birds with one stone, but maybe hit three.
Feed two birds with one seed.
Feed two birds with one seed. Okay, that's not very much food for them. But I figured we'd, one, obviously do a tasting, do a Savor at home tasting. Two, talk about peat, because I got some questions about peat.
I have some questions for him too.
And three, talk about NFTs. You know anything about like the blockchain and stuff?
A little bit.
Yeah? How are these all related? It goes into what's in my glass right now. So, Jer, what are we tasting?
We are tasting Ardbeg Blaaack.
Yeah, I don't know that you sounded enough like a sheep there. We're tasting Ardbeg Blaaack. Yeah.
This is a special bottle.
It is a special bottle. This was released in 2020. So this is a committee release for the 20th anniversary of the Ardbeg Committee.
What's the Ardbeg Committee?
Good question. The Ardbeg Committee encompasses over 120,000 members worldwide. They essentially support Ardbeg because they don't want Ardbeg to close its doors again. So it's an Islay single malt Scotch. Ardbeg is known for their heavily peated scotches. So this is a heavily peated single malt, and it's finished in pinot noir casks from New Zealand. That's
where the black comes in.
In New Zealand, the number of sheep outnumber the humans 5 to 1.
Black.
Yeah, and so, you know, the marketing thing about this being the black sheep of the bunch, or the Ardbeg Committee members being the black sheeps, you know, that's how
cool.
That's how it gets its name. Yeah. Are the All Blacks from New Zealand?
They are.
Whoa. Cool. Speaking of Ardbeg.
Blockchain.
Yesterday, Ardbeg just dropped their very first NFT.
See?
What's an NFT?
An NFT is a non-fungible token. And
you can take it away. Go ahead.
An NFT is a non-fungible token that essentially serves as a
token
that's non-fungible, where you can tie it to an asset, say a physical asset,
like a bottle of whiskey,
and the NFT provides some ownership and storage of a ledger of that ownership on the blockchain. And yeah, you can trade it. You can send it to people. You could just use it as a way to prove that you are the sole owner of this thing.
So it can be like a collectible.
It can be a collectible, yeah.
Or you can trade it in for a bottle of Ardbeg. So it's kind of cool what they did for their NFT, or for the whiskey that you can trade your NFT in for. They took two matured Ardbeg single malts, and then they buried them in peat bogs for just under 3 years. They wanted to see what would happen if they deprived the whiskey casks of oxygen and put them in an extremely moist environment. And it's said to have brought a whole lot of earthiness to the whiskey. These NFTs are going for 1 ETH. So what does that equate in USD?
1 ETH right now is probably hovering right at about 3,000 US dollars.
That's an expensive bottle of whiskey.
Can we cut to a clip of what this looks like? Ardbeg Fanoige.
Fanoige. Ardbeg Fanoige. Speaking of peat bogs, let's talk about peat for a second.
Okay.
So earlier this week, I posted a short video. I know you watched it multiple times.
I did.
About the fact that smoky whiskeys get their peaty, smoky flavors from how the barley was dried during the malting process, meaning before fermentation, distillation, and maturation. So all those smoky flavors make their way through the entire whiskey making process.
Which is crazy.
It's crazy. It's
So it
very
happens
cool.
in the very beginning.
Step 0.
Wow.
Okay, so when you malt barley, you are taking those barley kernels, you're sprouting them, right? You're convincing them it's spring, and they release the
But it ain't.
enzymes. It's not spring. Yep, surprise, surprise. They release the enzymes that break down those complex carbohydrates, right? Those starches that are in the barley kernels into simple sugars so that the yeast, the Saccharomyces cerevisiae, can actually convert those into ethanol. They cannot eat starch, unfortunately. They're not like us. They don't have those enzymes built into their spit like we do.
Yeah.
Did you know we have them in there?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. But once the barley is sprouted, it does want to turn into plants, and we don't want it to turn into plants. So we need to dry that out, remove all the moisture. And way, way back in the day, when they first started making whiskey and malting barley, they didn't have trees around or other fuel sources on the island of Scotland. So what they did is they used
Peat moss.
peat from peat bogs, which is essentially just decomposed organic matter that you can light on fire, and it provides heat, but it also provides a ton of smoke. When you burn the peat, it produces tons and tons of phenols, which are these smoky flavors. This is why, like, when you go to a campfire or a bonfire or something, your clothes, your hair smell of smoke. It's because those phenols are really sticky and they stick to you, and they do the same thing to the barley kernels. They stick to those barley kernels and then make it the whole way through the entire whiskey making process. Any other questions about peat?
No.
No?
Let's taste some Ardbeg Black.
Wait. First, I want to give a huge shout out to the Patreons.
Yes.
Thank you guys so much for helping to support the channel and for being a part of this neat community that we have over on Patreon. And if you, the viewer, would like to join our community, I have a link in the description below if you want to join us over on Patreon. Jerry's a Patreon. So
I am.
You can interact with
Probably
him over
the
there.
best thing I've ever done.
Okay. Now we can taste the Ardbeg Black. Will you tell me the proof?
This is 92 proof, 46 ABV.
I am not sure what the MSRP for it is, but I paid around $100 to $110 for it. It's got a good color to it. It's got some rich color. It's got a good copper color to it.
It's a good copper.
Yeah. The first thing I get on the nose is straight up barbecue. It's like a dry rub for like a chicken.
Yes,
in
barbecue
particular.
chicken.
Yeah.
Like the burnt bits of that chicken.
Yeah.
Yeah, chicken burnt ends.
But I'm also getting some citrus. I'm getting some like some orange essence.
Yeah, maybe the orange rind.
Yeah,
you
like-
pick up a little of the subtle hints of fruit that probably the Pinot Noir casks are lending to it. A lot of soot there.
There is a lot of soot there.
it's
Yeah,
good.
some good old peat reek right in there.
I'm gonna go in for a taste.
Wow, okay. All right.
Oh yeah. That is straight up. You've got, I don't even want to say the burnt ends, the burnt end of the burnt ends. And you crunch on it, and there's essentially no meat in there. There's just burnt barbecue sauce. And it just disintegrates in your mouth and leaves that taste. That's what you get punched with. And it's not, I quite like it.
Yeah, I do get some like some extinguished campfire. And I also get some mushroom, some good old portobello, grilled portobello mushrooms. Like everything that I'm tasting in here has been grilled.
Yes.
Are you getting any
absolutely.
fruitiness? I'm getting some spice towards the end.
Yeah, I was gonna say almost like a rye bread spice
Yeah.
for me. Less fruit on the palate, a little bit of maybe a burnt cherry.
I get burnt tires on the nose now. And a little bit of charred pineapple.
Yeah. It's but it's overwhelmingly that char. I'm having to look for the other thing. So if you like that, this is a good bottle for you, which we like.
I got some roasted nuts, walnuts, definitely.
If I go back after the first sip, the second sip, a little more of those fruitier notes, still burnt, but come through. But
with peated whiskeys, especially heavily peated whiskeys, right, you have to like almost work past that smokiness. But for those of us, I'm looping myself into this, who really enjoy the smoky, peaty flavors, it's really enjoyable. But yeah, you sip after sip, you get to uncover more flavors that are almost masked by the peaty notes on the first sip. Overall thoughts? Overall,
I need to be in the mood for a very heavily peated whiskey. I wish the Pinot Noir lend itself a little bit more.
A little bit more.
But since I like peated whiskeys, I like Ardbeg, I like this.
See, I think the Pinot Noir is not necessarily standing out as Pinot Noir, like, hello, I have fruity flavors, right? But I think it's transforming that campfire smoke into more barbecue smoke. I think it's providing that sweetness there. So I think it's really nice.
That's a great point. I see that.
And for $100, I think this is definitely worth $100, especially again if you're
if you want to drink your barbecue, have some of this.
Oh, I get some vanilla now. Yeah, it's fun. It's great. I'm an Ardbeg fan, so yeah, a little bit biased there, but definitely worth the $100 that we paid for it. Again, we love super smoky whiskeys, so yeah.
And to be clear, you don't get an NFT with this bottle.
Correct. If the viewers enjoyed this video, what should they do?
1, hit the like button. 2, hit the subscribe button. 3, ring that notification bell.
Ring it.
4, become a Patreon.
Should they leave us a comment?
Leave a comment.
And this is
Whiskey Wednesday.
Savor at home.
Sorry, do that again.
You are tricking the barley into sprouting and releasing. Are you bored? And you're starting the tasting already? Don't look bored. Look excited. Why did you say that?
Let's cut that out.
Yeah, I'll cut that out. I read 3,500.
That's not where it is right at the moment of the making of this video.
Okay.